Hi guys, Assalamualaikum. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to learn about narrative text, the definition, generic structures, and linguistic features. Tapi seperti biasa jangan lupa klik subscribe, like, share, atau komen ya. Okay, what is narrative text? Kalian pernah belajar kan tentang narrative text waktu di SMP? Masih inget nggak apa itu narrative text? Okay, narrative text is a type of text that consists of fantasy stories or fairy tales. Teks naratif adalah salah satu jenis teks yang berisi tentang cerita-cerita fantasi atau cerita hayalan. The purpose of the narrative text is to entertain people. Tujuan dari teks naratif adalah untuk menghibur orang. Do you still remember how many generic structures in the narrative text? Okay, yes, there are 3 or 4 generic structures of narrative text. The first one is orientation, and then complication, and resolution, and coda or reorientation. This is optional ya, kalau coda atau reorientation itu pilihan, kadang ada, kadang tidak ada dalam cerita ya. Orientation, it is about the opening paragraph where the characters of the story are introduced. Dalam orientation itu di mana tokoh-tokoh karakternya mulai diperkenalkan. Complication, where the problem in the story develop. Dalam complication, di mana permasalahan mulai muncul. Resolution, where the problem in the story is solved. Dalam resolution itu permasalahan sudah ketemu titik temunya atau ketemu solusinya. Reorientation or coda, a closing remark to the story and it is optional. It consists of a moral lesson, advice, or teaching from the writer. Reorientation atau coda merupakan penutup dari cerita dan ini optional, berisi tentang pelajaran moral atau nasihat yang disampaikan oleh si penulis. Okay guys, do you still remember the linguistic features of narrative text atau ciri-ciri dari teks naratif? Kalian masih ingat nggak? Coba ingat-ingat lagi. Bahasa yang digunakan biasanya menggunakan tenses apa? Okay, yuk kita lihat. The first one, ciri-cirinya pasti menggunakan past tense. Ya, lempau. Kedua, adverb of time. Seperti once upon a time and bla bla bla. Tiga, menggunakan action verbs. Action verbs adalah jenis kata kerja yang mendeskripsikan tindakan fisik atau mental. Types of narrative text. Do you still remember how many types narrative text have? Okay, there are 5 of narrative text type. The first one is fable, the second one is myth, the third one is legend, the fourth one is fairy tales, and the last one is folktale. Let's define one by one. Fable is a story about animal which behave like human. Fable atau cerita binatang adalah cerita yang menceritakan binatang yang bertingkah laku seperti manusia. Contohnya The Fox and the Crow. Myth, a story that is believed by some people but the stories cannot be true. It was told in an ancient culture to explain a practice, belief, or natural occurrence. For example, Jakataru. Mitos adalah cerita yang dipercaya oleh sebagian orang, tapi ceritanya itu tidak benar. Diceritakan dari budaya kuno, menjelaskan tentang praktek, kepercayaan, atau kejadian alam. Contohnya yaitu cerita Jakataru. Legend is a story which relates to on how a place is formed. For example, the legend of Toba Lake. Legenda adalah cerita yang berhubungan dengan asal-usul terjadinya suatu tempat. Contohnya, legenda Danau Toba. Fairy tale is a traditional story written for children that usually involves imaginary creatures and magic. For example, Cinderella. Dongeng adalah cerita tradisional yang ditulis untuk anak-anak, biasanya melibatkan makhluk-makhluk imajinatif dan juga magic. Contohnya, Cinderella. Folktale is an old story that has been told again and again, often for a generation. For example, Golden Snail or Keong Mas. Cerita rakyat adalah cerita masa lalu yang biasanya diceritakan dan diceritakan lagi biasanya dari generasi ke generasi. Contohnya yaitu cerita keong mas. Okay guys, now I will give you the examples of folktale from West Sumatra, sebuah cerita rakyat dari Sumatera Barat, and the title is Malin Kundang. Once upon a time, in Minangkabau coastal village known as Pantai Air Manis, lived an elderly widow named Mande Rubaya. She had a son named Malin Kundang. She loved and looked after her son dearly. Every day, she baked and sold cookies in the market, and Malin, who was such a darling, helped his mom. Like many a Minangkabau young men, Malin dreamed of taking journeys and seeking treasure and wealth in faraway lands. He wanted to ease his mother's burden and to find ways to bring her greater prosperity. Malin's dream came true when a large merchant ship anchored at Pantai Air Manis. Malin rushed to the shore, asked if he could help unload some of the trade goods. The captain agreed, and in fact, the captain needed an extra hand on deck, and he offered Malin a trip of a lifetime. Malin was so thrilled and excited, he rushed home and told his mom the news. Malin's mom was happy to hear the news, but sad at the same time, because her only son would be leaving her alone soon. But see her son's determination and courage, she blessed him for a safe and meaningful journey. She hoped traveling the world would make a man out of him and shape his character into someone who can make positive impact on the people around him. Malin's mom expected nothing but only hoped Malin would come home soon and make her proud. After that, Malin's mom would go to the beach every day after she finished her cookie selling in the market. She stared at the sky and the horizon, wondering how her son was doing. She missed him so much and prayed he would come home soon. Meanwhile, as the time went by, Malin made up a fortune and became a wealthy man and was soon to be married to the daughter of a rich merchant and ship owner. One fateful day, a fleet of large merchant ships was spotted on the horizon sailing toward Pantai Air Manis. On board the flagship was Malin and his newly wedded wife. The village crowd cheered the ship's arrival and excitedly cheered Malin and his wife. Malin's mother was among the crowd and broke through the line to approach her son. She burst into tears and ran to hug her son. Malin, who was with his newly wedded wife, could not stand seeing his mother, who looked like a beggar. Feeling embarrassed, he immediately denied her existence and pushed her until she fell. Malin's mother was shocked and hurt so much. She could never have imagined that her one and only son would treat her that way. She prayed in her heart, "God, I didn't raise that boy only to be hurt and humiliated. But he's still my son. I still love him. But I ask you, God, let me be the last person on earth he will hurt. Don't let him be an evil person. Show me your way, God." Upon completion of the loading and unloading of the merchant goods, the fleet set sail again. Malin, his wife, and the entire crew were destined to take the final voyage of their lives. The weather turned to the worst, and a huge wave slammed the fleet, and within hours, all of Malin's fleet sunk in the middle of the ocean. Malin was washed ashore and badly wounded, but still alive. Malin then realized that God had punished him for what he did to his mom. He bowed his head and prayed for his mother's forgiveness. It was too late. His body stiffened, and poor Malin slowly changed into a rock. Today, the rock that resembles a man can still be found at Pantai Air Manis village, reminding all of us again that our mother's prayers are the keys to a blessed, long, and prosperous life. The end. The moral lesson from this story is remember, mother's love endures through all. Motherly love is the fuel that enables a normal human being to do the impossible. Artinya, cinta ibu adalah cinta yang akan ada dalam hatimu untuk pertama kalinya. Cinta ibu seperti bahan bakar yang memungkinkan seorang manusia normal bisa berbuat hal yang tidak mungkin. Okay guys, it's now your turn to answer the question. Question number 1, what is the story about? Question number 2, who are the characters in the story and where did the story take place? Question number 3, what is the problem in the story? Question number 4, how is the resolution of the story? And the last one, what can you learn from the story? Okay guys, that's all our lessons about narrative text. Semoga bermanfaat. See you in my next other video. Thank you for watching. Wassalamualaikum. Bye.